Hey everybody, what's so special about this episode of Chase Jarvis Raw? Camera porn.
You can have it.
World famous photographer Chase Jarvis.
It's pure chaos, exactly the way I like it. 5 years ago, the big deal in the photo and video world was that we had these amazing video cameras now that looked a lot like still camera, and that cost went from like $30,000 or $40,000 down to something that you and me could afford on a daily basis. We were able to turn our still camera into shooting in motion. That was a huge revolution sort of 5 years ago. Since then, the next big revolution over the last few years has really been focused on moving the camera. So, to be clear, I am a user, I'm a consumer of these toys. I use these toys to help me make really pretty pictures. But I have a friend, his name is Tabb, and he started a company called FreeFly Systems, whose whole world is about making the toys that move these cameras. So, like on many episodes of Chase Jarvis Raw, I have a guest. Today, I have Tabb with me to help out. All right, welcome. Nice to see you, bud.
Thanks, good to see you too.
Congratulations on the toy. Come over here so the people can see you. This is gloriousness.
It's all of me.
It's all of Tabb. So, what we're looking at right now, to be crystal clear, is two versions of your new toy, and the new toy is called the MoVI Pro.
Yep,
right?
MoVI Pro.
So I'm hoping in this video to give folks an overview of not just the specifics of this, but what is, moving the camera, something that you guys have been focused on for a long time. Who uses this kind of stuff? What is this for, this whole genre of thing that we're looking at today?
Yeah, so it's like a camera movement ecosystem, and I would say at its core, it's people that are interested in moving the camera in ways that weren't previously possible. I entered the space through like kind of a weird entrance because I was obsessed with drones.
Yep.
But it's really grown much beyond that.
No one's obsessed with drones. No one ever talks about that stuff anymore.
I was obsessed with drones before drones were obsessed with.
In 2009, when I would hire someone to fly a camera around, it was him, and he was like literally soldering this shit together in his garage, and he would show up with a helicopter in the back of his truck that would fly cameras around. This was like literally not quite 10 years ago almost.
Yeah.
10 years ago. So now you're into the camera movement space, and it's not just about drones, but it's about drones and this new toy here, right?
Exactly.
So this thing is for anyone who wants to move the camera. And I think if you're looking at this from standing back, you're like, wow, that's a big fancy thing. It's not. It's super, super simple. Your previous version was called the MoVI 10 or the 15, right? That was for like a 10 was for a smaller camera, and the 15 was for a bigger cinema camera. Yeah,
so the M10 was the first handheld stabilizer on the market.
Got it. Yeah. And what we're looking at now, this is the MoVI Pro, right? So let's go into a little bit of the what have you upgraded since the original MoVI came out, however many, 2 years ago now?
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, what's new?
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
So top 5 things on MoVI Pro: integrated and hot swappable batteries. And
that's huge.
Yeah, these power everything on the entire system. So
let's say why that's huge, because you don't actually have to reset the gimbal every time you swap batteries.
A lot of the downtime with gimbals came when you had to reset and then reconnect wireless, reconnect focus, reconnect iris, all that stuff. Now, once you turn this thing on in the morning, it stays on all day, and you just hot swap batteries in throughout the day.
That's so slick.
Next big improvement is there's no stand to balance it anymore. We've built this 30mm carbon fiber ring with integrated feet. So when you're shooting and you're tired, you just set it down, walk away, you're done.
No, I mean, that's huge, because you used to have a stand, you have someone to hold this thing, and this is now you can just set it down. Okay.
And inevitably, I don't know how, but you'd always end up a mile away from the guy who has the stand as you're holding the MoVI.
It always happens.
Yeah.
Hot swappable batteries, freestanding. What else we got, bud?
Then we have integration. So we've got a screen built in here. We've got all kinds of accessory ports, focus iris zoom ports that power everything on the camera.
Wow. So let me interrupt for just a second. So you can literally remotely run every aspect. The iris?
Yeah.
Like literally.
You can run the iris, the focus, the zoom on the RED camera because they open their protocol to us. We can actually control internal RED parameters. So if you want to adjust ISO, frame rate.
Nerdcore.
Too much.
I noticed a lot less wires than I saw in the last one too.
Yeah, and also with the integration, you can get to a set and build up the package very quickly, which for me is nice because it means you get to actually go to a crew dinner rather than like messing around soldering like you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah.
The next big thing I would say is Mimic, and so we talked about Mimic 2 years ago here at the same very
literally,
spot.
and I was wearing the same jacket. Look up the video; it's right here.
I got a new jacket since then, so.
Okay.
So in the spirit of integration and like ease of control for operators, this little device can talk to the MoVI Pro, and it can control the pointing, of the system. It can control the focus, iris, zoom, and it can control all the camera parameters. So it just gives people the ability to access all the things that they need from up to 600 or 1,000 feet away.
Wow. All right, so considering that last little deal, let's talk about the 3 different modes in which MoVI gets used. So the first one that you guys call majestic mode, that's just one operator. You're out there skating or running or trying to get a great shot, moving one camera, one operator, all contained, right?
Exactly. So that's, you know, for the more simple type of shots, I can actually just pick this up and operate it in majestic mode, and it'll do what I want it to do. You can adjust the smoothing, so you know I have feedback on the monitor. I can sit here and film chase.
Got it.
And I would say those are for the more simple shots that you need to execute, or if you need to really run light as a one-man band. And then things get more complicated when you go into the dual operator.
I think I'm going to call it more excited. It is very, very simple. This is like literally just pick up the camera and go and start walking, and you can move it around like this, and your shots look like butter. Do you want to say that again, butter? Okay, and then so that's one mode of operating. The second mode of operating is, let's again, we launched into this because you started talking about mimic.
Yeah.
So that's where there's someone, some people call that person a mule, I happen to call them a friend, who's carrying around your heavy camera, and if you're the director or the DP, you're sitting back there actually.
So you take that.
Okay, got it.
I'll take this.
All right, this is what it's got the Sony on there.
So you can see what this will do is it'll actually take and replicate Chase's moves on that thing with the camera. So this has been called like one of the most intuitive ways to remotely control a camera ever created. And I think what this is really good for is...
Are you getting this? This is just ridiculous, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so there's an IMU on the handle that you have, and there's an IMU here, and they're talking and taking your movements, and in like 10 milliseconds making the changes to the camera pose. Wow.
So this is absolutely spectacular. And this is for a case where, again, if Tabb is my mule, I don't know if we're...
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
No
I do have a new jacket, though.
Yeah, you do have a better jacket than I have. So if he's the mule and you're sitting back here, if he's got to do some moves with the camera where he can't be aiming and running the camera at the same time, that's where this comes into play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if he's hopping along from bench to bench to bench in a skate park or whatever, and then you've got someone who's actually controlling the camera here, you can see that. Like it's literally instantaneous. That's amazing. Or not literally.
Yeah. 10
millisecond delay?
Yeah, somewhere around there, 8 to 10 milliseconds.
Got it.
Maybe even less.
So that's mode 2 of operating. The first one, again, majestic, one operator, one camera, solo flyer.
Yeah.
Then you've got this world right here. Now, this comes with
Yes, it's included with the MoVI Pro package.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then what's the third sort of mode of operation of this thing?
So the third mode would be via MoVI controller, and this type of operation, I would say, is more suited for aerial use, or some people just prefer operating a joystick rather than the Mimic.
I know this doesn't come with the MoVI Pro. This is an accessory, but it's a pretty badass accessory. In this world, this is basically like Video Game Central, right? I'm sitting there, I've got focus, I've got zoom, and I'm literally controlling this thing with the joystick. And so, is this one of the things you guys were using when you were flying the Alta and you had this thing?
Yes.
This joystick? So
yeah, so any of the Alta shots that we're doing, we're primarily using MoVI controller.
Got it. So look at you, I'm cheep, boop, boop, boop.
Yep, so you got control focus,
I got control focusing, pan tilt,
iris.
Like
if this was a zoom lens, you'd have control of zoom. You have control of all the red settings from 800, 600 to 1,000 feet away.
Amazing. And so, but to be clear, this does not come with the MoVI. Everything else that we've talked about does.
Yes.
This is separate.
Yep.
I like this.
You just like it because it's carbon fiber.
That's right. On the tip of modularity, talk to me about all the different ways or the different attachments, if you will, because I know the Alta, you guys probably saw that video on my Facebook page that these guys made called drone surfing. If you haven't seen that, like, it's here. Can I point to it here? I don't know. It's insane. It's literally a drone pulling a dude on a surfboard. You guys made that. Incredible. But let's talk about how you take this and leverage it into some of the other sort of movement systems that are out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So the way we're thinking about our product roadmap is developing a camera movement ecosystem. So any way that you as a creative want to move a camera, we want to enable it with the technology we're developing. So, let's say that we were here with an Alta and we wanted to go. It's as simple as releasing that quick release, and then we can click right into an Alta on the top or the bottom. If we wanted to click onto the Taro and drive it on the ground, same thing, just clicks right in with this. We call it the toad in the hole quick release.
That is incredible.
There we go. Click it in, clamp it down, we're good to go.
That's nuts.
And then, you know, you just...
So that's onto a drone, onto an arm for driving,
Yeah.
onto any different system.
A jib, you know, whatever you want to do. Yeah.
So one of the things that I'm most impressed by is the price point that you're able to make all of this stuff for. So give us a quick overview, if you will.
Yeah, so MoVI Pro handheld bundle, which is this plus the Mimic, which we talked about earlier, $6,500.
So that's the camera stabilization system, the gimbal, batteries, the
2 chargers,
the Mimic controller to be able to drive any camera, and all that for $6,500.
Yeah.
$6,500 is not an insignificant amount of money, but in the world of camera controlling things and professional grade cinema stuff, that is unbelievably affordable relative to what you get.
Yeah, and we like to think about the benefit that the user gets from this wide ecosystem that we're creating. It's not just a camera stabilizer.
Right.
It works for drones, it works for cars, it works, you know, for a whole host of things that we talked about.
Got it.
Yeah.
Super sexy. All right, man, huge congratulations. Grateful for you coming out here, and thanks. The fact that you gave me 3 of these really helped make this video get made. That's not true, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, man, I appreciate it. And for you folks at home, I got 3 things. One thing is, in order to find out more about FreeFly systems, go to freeflysystems.com. That's a mouthful to say, but you know how to go there, it's right here. Also, I've got a full breakdown on my blog, chasejarvis.com/blog, about all the details that we talked about here. And then last but not least, if you like this or videos like it, just click subscribe. I think it's probably like here or here or here. I'm making a video every week.
You can have it if you want it. It's gratis, it's for free. There ain't no strings attached, no, there ain't no catch. Take my love, take my love, take me. You can have it if you want it.